G'day guys, gold hunters and all. This will be called a tale of two GPX-6000 detectors. We have two here. This one is bog stock standard. Nothing done to it. The one over here further away, that has had all the latest upgrades. Actually, a little bit extra than what I have been doing to the GPX-6000s. So I'm going to do a comparison. Up here, we have a nugget finder Exceed 12x7 mono. It's even Minelab approved. So yeah, not a bad coil. About time people made white coils to reflect the sunlight and keep the coil cool, which keeps the noise down too, believe it or not. No, black skid plates on the ground, no big deal. But no, you should have white coils. I'm not joking. Black coils, dark coils, light, whitey, very light grey colour coils. Anything that reflects the sunlight, you should have that. You don't want your coil heating up. Here's a little tip for you. Anyway, let's get on with this. I'll be using the 0.1 for this test because I have a mono coil, and not that it's not going to make any damn difference anyway, because these only have whatever modes are in there to operate with various coils, but there's no cancel mode. So you could have a double D, you can have a mono, it's going to be just as noisy. So expect this to be noisy, but the point of the exercise is I want you to listen to the tone of each detector. They're both exactly the same. They're on the lowest gain. They are set up for, I just actually set them up for the worst ground, for difficult ground. The audio is the same, everything's the same on these. I'll just do a interference scan and whatever you want to call it, EMF reduction. Hopefully it's a reduction. But I'll be using the same coil on both detectors, so the only thing I've got to do is change the coil over. But you'll be able to tell. I've got a microphone sitting back in the rear here where these things, the speakers are pointing, and I've done a bit of rework on that Class D amplifier on the one I modified. This, like I say, stock standard. So I haven't pulled it apart or anything, so I don't really know, but I would suspect this has had the inductors changed that caused that funny microphonic problem. And another thing too with the microphonic type, it's not actually microphonic, it's basically a feedback loop caused by the transmitter getting back in. Because if you shorten the shaft down and get the coil closer to the detector or run a bigger coil, the effect gets worse. But I think that's all been taken care of, as far as I know. You can shorten your shaft, turn your detector on. If it starts going completely ape, you'll know that you have the old cruddy inductors in there. And that is probably, more than likely, in my opinion, causing the problem. So, because I've seen detectors have had the inductors swapped out as they come through, because I can tell a difference between a multi-million-dollar factory job, and I can tell the difference between a service workshop job. It's very obvious. Anyway, which one are we going to do first? We're going to do the stock standard one. So we'll turn him on and just get ready for the barrage of noise. And this is why I'm forced to use a 0.1, not the 05. I'll just do an anti-interference thing on it after it does its, like I say. I know I can just poke it and do it, but I'll hold it in. just as noisy. It wouldn't matter if I turn everything off, it's just as noisy. But anyway, have a listen on a 0.1. Now, I'm touching that. Jesus, it's noisy. And that's on low volume. It's on lowest volume and lowest sensitivity, right? Both are. I'm touching that on the mounts, the top of the mounts on the coil. I'm not touching the coil itself. I'm touching the middle mounts. So, you know, what is it? That far above the coil, just banging it on the thing. I'll lift up the camera. I'll do it again in a minute or two. But okay, you might have to rewind and go forward to listen between the two detectors, because obviously it's going to take me time to get the coil off one and put it on the other. I can't sort of go bang, 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 you know, before and after, unless I get in there and edit videos. And I'm trying not to do edit videos, because if you edit videos, there's some, I don't want to be tarred with the brush, because if you edit videos, people make accusations that you've doctored the video or you did something different or whatever. So I just do not edit, right? So you got to put up with all the crud in between. Okay, this is the modified one. Oops, don't fall over. There we go. And I'll just do the same with this. I'll just do an interference cancel. It'll probably be just as noisy, but listen to the tone. The tone is different than the factory one. Okay, same test. 0.1 on the mounts. Did you notice the difference? I'll do it again. I'll do it in reverse order. I'll leave everything going. I'll just crank the camera up in the air so you can see exactly where I'm putting the stick. Oops. Bear with me, it's a bit rocky. Okay. Gotta go around there. There's our coil. Okay. 0.01. Get away from the wire, it should be around the other way, but anyway. Okay. Turn that off. I'm just unscrewing the coil. I need two hands to do this. Trying to pull the boot away from the that nut so it comes off easier. Easier said than done, I tell you. Come on. Hang on. The detector's nearly fallen off the bench. Go on, off you come. Off you come. God. Do we really need all that thread? Okay. Okay, turn this other one on. And I'll just do another interference thing on it just for the hell of it. Just to make everything absolutely identically the same. Have a listen to the tone of it. I'll let it do its bizzo. Get back up here. 0.1. Okay. You can hear it sometimes, but not others. Like I say, bucket of noise. It'll work on my ring. If I use a 0.05, not even worthwhile doing. Now I'll turn that bucket off. So there you go. That is the signal to noise ratio improvement you can get. That'll be a hell of a lot better out in the field too than what I just did. So there you go, people. Yeah, go back down with this. Bonk, spin it around. So there you go. That's a tale of two GPX-6000s. One that's been worked on and modified up, and the other one stock standard. What do you think? Make comments. Tell me about it. What do you think? And have a good listen. Go back and in the video when I do the standard one, listen to it carefully. Listen to it with headphones on your device, because it'll sound crap coming out of your little tiny speaker if you're using a phone or something. You won't hear it. But it is raspy and really, I don't know, make up your own mind. I'm not going to say anything and make up your minds for you, but you can have a listen. Just remember, this one here is stock standard, and the one at the back here is modified. So that's that. What else can I do? Well, I can try and show you doing a scrub test of the 0.05 on the coil in the noise, but it really is a bit, you know, not really worth doing. The reason being is that it's just so noisy. We can show with a larger target the signal over the noise, and you know these detectors are very noisy out in the field. When I've done these detectors, actually, I've got another one here which has the old mods, and I'm actually just putting the new stuff into this one here. So yeah, so these things are coming out the woodwork. So yeah, that is the another one of those. So yeah, we are doing as much upgrades on these as we can. The thing is, you know, you get a few bits of gold now, I suppose. You know, even point ones. You know, you're doing pretty good. You're going to get yourself, you know, $8 or $10 or something. Well, if it's a nice point one, you probably sell it for more as a collector's piece or something. But some people do. Some people pay more than gold value, even though the gold's not gold. It's got additives in it. But anyway, nugget value. So I don't want to say anything and poo-poo things like that. But it's, well, a nice piece of gold, a big one, yeah. You want to pay the extra for that. But just little tiny ones, you know, I always think it's funny. Like, you know, it's in Central Vic, most of the gold's pretty close to nearly 100% pure, nearly. Because we've got an XRF, we can test all the nuggets, and we found some very interesting things. When we start looking in the gold north of Ararat area in Central Vic, we found some gold there that was absolutely 99.999. I'm not going to say 100% pure, but even though the XRF found no impurities in the gold, it actually said it was like pure as. Most of the gold we get 95, 96, 97, 98, all in that area. I haven't seen any lower unless you go, where's that place? If you go, there's a place, Evansford. If you go there, all the gold there is black. It's all coated with some sort of iron oxide or manganese oxide. And in my first lesson of finding gold there, I picked it up and I thought it was a piece of rusty fence wire, and I went to throw it. And the guy, the property owner, because he was with us, he let us on, and he grabbed my arm before I threw it. He goes, "Don't throw that. That's gold." And I went, "What? It's not gold." He goes, "No, it's covered in manganese. I think it was manganese." And all the gold from around the area there was manganese. So yeah, that won't read as gold. It'll probably read as manganese. But yeah, wiggling it back and forth, like it looked like fencing wire, just like that. And the manganese broke off in the center part, and it was gold. So be aware of throwing away gold if it's black. Yeah, that was a long time ago anyway, but it's a lesson that stays in your head that way. You don't forget that. Don't throw away things that are black that beep, just in case. And the other one too, many a case of someone throwing away a hot rock, right? Especially the brown coffee rock type, what you think's hot rock, it's really not. And many people throw them away and they go, "Oh, it's a hot rock, hot rock." Yeah, kick it away, kick it away. I've learnt to break them open because there's a couple of occasions. This is back in the back in the when was it? 1980s over in Kalgoorlie area. That when you break the rock open, there's a piece of gold inside the rock. So, and if you want to find out about that sort of gold, it's the same gold. It's exactly the same as what they get over in Africa. At is that what's the name of that place? It's got a name about that long. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. Yeah, but the gold's also associated with radioactivity, and we actually found some of that. Nearly said too much. Dear me. But anyway, that wasn't the point of the exercise. Yeah, the point of the exercise was these gadgets. So, yeah, let me know what you think of that. I've got to do field tests, but these people want their detectors back, and I really got to do the other one. So I might have to rush out tomorrow, do the side by side, just so they know themselves as well what sort of improvement we get. We'll go over to our semi noisy test site, and we'll try them there side by side. But I know because of past experience that the modded one will outdo the other, and you've seen that in the other videos anyway. I think I don't know how many videos back now. I don't know, whatever it is. I just look for GPX against the GPX. I think it is 6000s. And the other one I want to do too. I want to do GPX 6000 Standard. Well, I have done some, but I've got some really good mods for the 45 and 5000 now. My God, it is really good. And like I say, the detectors are fairly cheap now because you can pick them up all over the place because everyone's rushed out and bought 7000s and 6000s and gold monsters and whatever. And yeah, you can trick these older detectors up now and look at all the coils you have, all the cheap coils. You can get them secondhand anywhere. You're going to even, dare I say it, you can even use the Chinese ones if you really want to. They do work as long as they're, a standard mono 11 size and thereabouts. They do work. Actually, I don't like talking about it because it'll poo off everyone in the industry here, but I think they're 50 or 60 bucks, and they do work. They work okay. I'm not going to go and sing praises. Find out for yourself. But you know, I'd rather just get cheap El Cheapo coils for a detector than have to use some special coil, which is, you know, we know what it's done for. It's an opposition killer. That's in my opinion. It's yeah, anti competition. Yeah, not really, but oh, whatever they say. I think you know, we've proved the point by taking dongles out of coils, out of plugs, and just sticking them on the inside the detector and shoving any old coil on it, and the damn thing works just the same. So, in my opinion, and in my experience, that's what I've found. So, yeah, and you know, the dongle now is inside the coil, so you can't go and do that unless you pull the coil apart. But if you pull the coil apart, you can get the dongle and you can shove it in your detector and run your own coils of any description on it. But that will probably peeve everyone off as well, me saying that. But yeah, well, it's factual, isn't it? It will work. You just probably got to change your plugs on your detector. Um, and yeah, but then again, the dongles are different between uh, different types of coil. So that might be a bit of an issue if you go from running anything like double D coils to monos. I don't think if you put a mono dongle in it, I don't think it will work properly if you put a double D coil on it. I think it'll go treat it like a mono. And if you put a double D dongle in there and you put a mono on it, I don't think it's going to work very well at all. Anyway, it's all got very complicated with all these dongle. Dongles are those little things, little handshakes. I call them dongles because we used to have dongles on computers when we had circuit board designing software years ago and stuff like that. That's how you used to protect it. You had to have this hardware module that went in the printer port, and when you're using the software, you couldn't use the printer. Work that one out, especially when you're doing artwork for PCBs and you want to proof print it. Yeah, it wouldn't print. It's totally stupid, but that's how things were back then. That's all, you know, back in the 80s type stuff. Ah, the good old days. But anyway, uh, yeah. So you've seen that anyway. I want to do the field tests, and you get an idea in the field tests anyway. Have a listen to the one that's got most of the stuff done to it compared to a normal out in the field on my videos, and you'll see the difference. It makes a big difference. Anyway, that's enough waffle on this. Not many people will see this video because I've done it on what, Saturday night, and everyone's out partying. Yeah, and out prospecting and camping. So yeah, limited audience. So there you go. I don't really care. It's all good fun. Catches.